Okay, so what I want to do is just read this Bible verse in Acts chapter 5. It says, "And daily um, in the temple and in every house they cease not to teach and preach Jesus Christ." I would read more of Acts chapter 5 if you want to get the context. This is the apostles before the council. Um, before the council, the Pharisees, I think it was the council of the Pharisees. Alright, here's what it says. Well, hold on. Alright, then the high priest rose up. This is Acts chapter 17, just to give you a little feel of the context. The high priest rose up, and all they that were with him, which is the sect of the Sadducees, and were filled with indignation, and laid their hands on the apostles, and put them in the common prison. The angel of the Lord by night opened the prison doors and brought them out, brought them forth, and said, "Go, stand and speak in the temple to the people of all the words of this life." And when they heard that, they entered into the temple early in the morning and taught. But the high priest came, and they that were with him, and called the council together, and all the senate of the children of Israel sent to the prison to have them brought. When the officers came and found them not in the prison, they returned and told, saying, "The prison truly found we shut with all safety, and the keepers standing without before the doors. But when we had opened, we found no man within." Now when the high priest and the captain of the temple and the chief priests heard these things, they doubted of them whereunto this would grow. Then came one and told them, saying, "Behold, the men with whom ye put in prison are standing in the temple and teaching the people." Then went the captain with the officers and brought them without violence, but they feared the people, lest they should have been stoned. And when they had brought them, they set them before the council, and the high priest asked them, saying, "Did not we straitly command you that ye should not teach in his name? And behold, ye have filled Jerusalem with your doctrine, and intend to bring this man's blood upon us." And that's where it goes on. And Peter responds, and the other apostle Then Peter and the other apostles answered and said, "We ought to obey God rather than men." It goes on there, and then down in the very last verse, in verse 42, it says, "And daily, after all this stuff takes place here, up there, downwards, later on down, it says in verse 42, and daily in the temple and in every house," here's the thing that you should catch. "They ceased not to teach and preach Jesus Christ." Okay. The point I want to make with this is there's a lot of people nowadays who are, this is the King James Bible, by the way. There's a lot of people nowadays who are telling Christians, like, I don't know if you've ever had this happen to you, but it's happened to me, even within my own family, even, where they tell me not to. You can talk about the Bible and all that stuff. It's fine. It's awesome that you believe it, but you don't have to talk about it all the time. And basically, when they say that, they're of the same heart as these Pharisees, because these Sadducees beat them and told them, commanded that they should not speak in the name of Jesus, and let them go. So it's the same heart as the Sadducees. Because later in verse 42 it says, "Daily in the temple and in every house they ceased not to teach and preach Jesus Christ." So there's a word of encouragement for all Christians. Don't cease to do it. When someone comes up to you and says, "You don't have to do it all the time," know that what they're doing is not of God. That heart they have is like the same heart the Sadducees had here in Acts chapter 5, when they brought the apostles in front of the council. Just wanted to give you that word of encouragement, because I caught that. So